Morning everybody, Tim's with me. I don't know if you remember Tim, but Tim helped me sail Miss Rosie back from the south of England several years ago. I'll put a link in the description to those videos, and here's a little clip in the corner of the screen for the Miss Rosie episodes. Tim's come up and we're actually going to go and work on the mast today. It's doing some stuff with the running rigging. So here's the mast. As you know, we've got in this mast, we've got in-mast furling. I'm going to show you all the components to that in a moment. We're going to give the mast a clean, get rid of some of this green on it, and then start looking at putting some running rigging in. First things first, as I say, is to get some water, I think, and give the whole mast a bit of a scrub. So scrubbing time lapse to begin the episode. Right, so we're just rinsing down. What we've been using to clean the mast is this Harpic 10X, which has got hydrochloric acid in it, so it's pretty lethal stuff. It's toilet cleaner, basically. But the lovely thing about it is, I'll just put it away. The lovely thing about it is it removes rust specks like you wouldn't believe. There's a few tiny little rust specks in the aluminium because the boat was literally right underneath our boat where we were grinding, and even though we'd got tarps over, inevitably one or two little flakes have landed on our mast, and you've got tiny little specks of rust in the aluminium, and they come off really easily with the Harpic 10X, so that's really good. Let me show you the next thing that we're doing. The next thing that we're doing is these. A little while ago, Nigel, in one of his episodes on bleeding rust, sorted these sheath blocks out for us. I've got the other one somewhere, and I'll show you where they go. They go obviously right in the top of the mast, and we've got to fit these back on. But he, I'll show you what he did. Let me put you down. So these pulley blocks had worn, so he turned them on his lathe to open them out to the right size. He made some custom made brass bushes so they fit beautifully, and then he turned a really nice pin, so they're now spot on, and they can go back in the top of the mast here. Yeah, and that's the next job really, is to get these, look at that, to get these installed. Fantastic, let's get on to that. Okay, so before we put the sheath blocks in, we were just discussing this, Tim and I, and we've decided that because there's no pulley blocks in here at all, there's really good access for us to get a mousing line all the way through and pull our rigging, our running rigging through before we put the pulley blocks in place. Otherwise we're going to be feeding it kind of round the back of that pulley block and up, so that's going to be really awkward. So let's just identify the mousing lines first and see what we've got. You off, gentlemen? You off for a sail? You off for a sail?
Looks like it. Oh, hang on. Nearly. Yeah, we're here.
Nice. You through and out?
Yeah. Lovely.
Awesome. So we've got this. What we've got to try and do now is to get one out of this one, one out of, oh no, that one's the topping lift for the, is that the topping lift for the, let's move the boom. Oh God, it's a bit heavy. In which case, this is dead simple. On this side, we just put the Genoa halyard in the topping lift, and the staysail halyard goes on the outside of the mast. Fine, won't it? Yeah. Right. Halyards and sheets. This rope is beautiful stuff, and I should mention we got it from English Braids, We got it from English Braids at the Southampton Boat Show, who did an amazing deal for us. So thank you so much. We basically got all of the halyards that we needed for the boat in one hit. I can't recommend them enough. I just gave them a list of what I wanted, the dimensions of what I wanted, and they figured it out, texted me while I was on the Halberg Rassi stand, and they said, right, your rope's ready. So I went back and picked it all up, and it was so simple and so easy and so professional. So English Braids, thank you very much. Amazing stuff. Let's get this taped up and pulled through. It's a simple procedure of putting these pulleys down from this side and then repeatedly dropping them on the floor and missing as you try to put the pin through the tufnel bush. This is a process that I'll do several times whilst swearing. It's the standard way of doing it. Oh, here we go. Told you. Hang on, don't pull anything for a minute. Get up there. Ooh. Can I have some main halyard slack? Hey, there's one. And this one. Nope. Yes. Not through there. But for now, that's fine. So there you go, that's fine. Now I've got to do the one on the underneath, which might mean flipping the mast over. 1, 2, 3, up. And over. Whoa. Now we can get to the side. And this side. And this is the side that has the blocks that Nigel repaired for us. These ones. So this pin should go all the way through there and then have a retainer on this side. We haven't made the retainer yet, but we'll do that with Nigel when he's here. Weld a little plate on there. So this will be dead easy, this one. That thing goes all the way through, nice. There you go, that's into one.
Beauty.
And then the next one is going to be a pig. Oh no.
That's right.
Can you get that back? I'll go.
Yeah.
There we are.
Sweet.
Sweet. Now there's two solutions to this. We can either drill all the way through and out the other side and put a cotter pin on either side. That needs cleaning up a bit. I think I'll do that with Nigel. And then the other solution is to weld a little plate on with just a self-tapping screw to stop this coming out, which is how it was. So just for now, until I get Nigel to cast his eye over this and we come up with a permanent solution, I have actually got some stainless bar long enough to go all the way through and out the other side, but just to stop that disassembling itself, that's fine. That's not going to fall apart, and don't worry, we won't launch the boat like that. I want to connect to the Wi-Fi in the marina office, and obviously when you're on a kind of out in the middle of the yard like this, it's a fair distance and the signal isn't that great on my phone. So I've got one of these Wi-Fi extenders, which I can just stick it outside. I'm not going to like install it with a cable gland or anything for now, but I can stick that outside, plug it in and connect to it, and that then connects to I log onto this, that connects to the Wi-Fi in the marina office, and then I piggyback off that for my Wi-Fi for uploading YouTube videos and listening to music while I work. So the problem with connecting to a public network like that is the security aspects of it. So we're actually using NordVPN, who are sponsoring this video. So thanks to them. Amazing thing. So basically what NordVPN does, it protects your IP, so it hides your IP address, so you can be anywhere in the world. So you can log on to these, the VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. So you can log on to it with your account, and then you can be anywhere in the world. So you can watch Netflix in Brazil, or you can watch Disney Channel in Australia. But more than that, it protects you from malware. It's constantly like monitoring malware. So it protects you when you're online on public networks and private, you know, if you go into a well-known fast food eating establishment that sells burgers and use their network, you're completely protected. We've got NordVPN on our iPad and computer at home, but I've just literally installed it on my phone now. It's that easy to do. So if you're worried about it being a complicated or difficult install or being not very tech savvy, don't worry about that. It's really simple. And what you can do, while I'm having my cup of tea, you can have yours, and you can go to https://NordVPN/melody. And that will get you the exclusive deal that you get through watching us, which is awesome. And you get a 2 years exclusive deal, you get 4 months free, and it's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't like it, just unsubscribe. And the other thing it does, which is really cool, is it prevents people tracking your IP and scammers and so forth. I actually had somebody the other day on one of the Facebook groups trying to sell me some bits for Melody, and it was really irritating because they were being quite aggressive and unpleasant about it, and I was saying, look, I'm not interested, I've got the bits that I need, thank you very much. And had I not had NordVPN, I would have been worried about whether they were able to, you know, track our exact location, of course, because we put ourselves on YouTube and you guys can watch us, and that's always a concern, you know, security for your family. So yeah, head over to the link in the description. It's in the description, it's on the screen right now. That's https://nordvpn.com/melody. And as I've said, you get the exclusive deal, you get 4 months free, and you get the 30-day money-back guarantee. Can't recommend it highly enough. And I'm not just saying that because they're sponsoring the video, they're genuinely awesome. So, where are we up to with this? Here is our top swivel, which was broken. Look, that slides up inside the mast. I may have already showed you this, but that's snapped off where the halyard pulls it up. And what Nigel did, and you need to go and watch his video to see this, is he fixed it. He routed the opposite shape, so that's what it should look like. And what he's done is taken the broken side, scrapped that, and route the exact opposite. I contacted Bomar to get a replacement, and they wanted a massive sum of money and said that it was unfixable, but you take it to a good engineer and it's perfectly fixable. So thank you very much, Nigel. That's incredible. And this can now go back on and onto our mast, well, into our mast furling system. So this goes in there like that. Hang on.
There you go.
So, in the top of the foil, there's a hole, and then that is the top cap. That sits there. This mounts on like so, and I'm not going to rivet this in for now because I'm sod's law. I'm going to have to take it apart again several more times. It goes like that. Okay.
Yeah.
That goes in there like that. That goes there, and then the mainsail actually attaches onto this. So I'm actually going to pull that.
What's the need for it to be such a large block? Why is it? Oh, is it just to make it slide down?
Yeah, it slides down in there. This assemblage here, I've rebuilt and put new bearings in it. Once it's all working, it's like everything on this boat. I dry fit it, put it all together, and then take it apart again and make it look pretty, because in the process of fitting it, you end up scuffing it and damaging it and marking it. So I'm going to be taking this all off again briefly just to make it look pretty. This now goes into the bottom of the foil, like so. Come on.
It got a bit of WD-40 or something you can throw on there.
Oh, we're getting close now.
Yeah.
To being back together. Right, because I'm putting stainless screws into aluminium, other people have mentioned this to me before, and I'm very aware of this kind of stuff, but I just didn't do it last time and it was very bad of me. I'm using stuff called Tef gel, which is basically it's an anti-galling paste for when you're putting dissimilar metals together, and it stops them binding up and corroding together quite so easily. So it's this horrible goop, and then we can start to screw this together. And as I say, I'm gonna be taking this apart again to give it a paint before I put it back together. But now it's all kind of fixed and repaired and reassembled, I just want to make sure it works, and then I can disassemble it, make it look pretty, and put it back together.
There was, the engineer on Brixton Castle insisted we always put he had a thing called anti-seize.
Yeah, that's what this is.
Yeah.
It's anti-seize.
It was a, I don't know if this one was a branded name anti-seize or something, but
it's exactly the same stuff.
Yeah.
So
there was like a copper-based one and an aluminium-based one.
Well, yeah, I use copper slip
Teflon,
if I'm using. So I use copper slip if I'm using mild steel into mild steel.
Okay.
I don't tend to use copper slip if I'm working with stainless. This is like a Teflon based one, I believe, although I'm no metallurgist.
The Teflon's probably good for everything then, I suppose.
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just nice, that's lovely. If you don't know how this works, basically, those of you who sail and know about these things will know, but this thing that looks like a corkscrew has a rope that spirals into it. And the sail, the main sail, goes in through this slot and into the luff, into the groove in there, basically, in that foil. Then when you pull a rope, the sail wraps itself up inside this tube and puts itself away. And then when you pull another rope, it deploys itself. And there are pros and cons to this system. I've had this system on boats before, and I hated it with a fiery passion. It's horrible, it jams, the sail snags and jams, and it's not a very good shape because it's not got battens. And the other issue, and my main issue with it, apart from all of that, because you can get round the jamming issues and you can forgive the sail shape a little, but the main issue is the fact that when the sail is wrapped up, all the weight of that wet sail is high on the mast, whereas with slab reefing, all the weight of the sail is on the boom. When the weather gets nasty and you reef down, you're bringing weight down nearer the deck of the boat, which means it can, less heel, more comfortable ride for everybody. Whereas with this, when the weather gets nasty and you reef, you're keeping a lot of weight high on the mast, and I don't like that in the slightest. And the reason that we're not changing it for now is because it does work. The system is supposedly a reliable system, and it's not a priority for us getting the boat in the water and working. Once the boat's in the water, then we can think about upgrades to things like this. But if we spent money changing this system now, it would be money that we need for essential things to get the boat floating, wouldn't it?
Unwind a bit more, have it?
Yes, because now that this is together, you can now bring the shuttle down. Because what I would like to happen, Tim, because the foil in the middle of this tube is now unsupported in the middle, what can happen as the mast gets moved around and blows about in the wind, the foil is made of sections and is riveted together, and if it's flopping in the middle, that can damage the rivets in the middle of the foil section. So in the ideal world, we'd support it at either end with this assemblage and with the top cap, and that we'd put the shuttle somewhere dead centre to support the centre point of the foil to stop it drooping in the middle and damaging its rivets.
Sweet. We can make that happen.
Again, thanks so much to Nigel for helping me get this this whole roller reefing setup back together, and the sheath blocks at the top of the mast. Amazing. Cheers, mate. So as I say, this is all going to come back off now, but it's dead easy to take off because it's all fresh and it's got anti-seize on it. This whole system rotates nice and smoothly, and there's a rope that coils up onto this, and then the sail wraps round, attaches the foot of the sail attaches to here, the head of the sail attaches to the top swivel that Nigel has fixed, and pulls it up tight to get nice luff tension, and then you can reef in and out. And should this become a problem, there is also a groove on here to raise a secondary mainsail if you have a problem with your primary, or to raise a trysail should you wish to. Oh yes, and the gooseneck I want to put back on as well.
That'll be a satisfying one.
Eh?
That'll be a satisfying one.
Yeah. So here's the gooseneck on the end of the boom. It's a fine, robust system, but that piece of threaded bar or whatever that is flipping awful. So I'm going to cut that off, and then we can mount the gooseneck onto the mast, and then it'll just be a lot easier to mount the boom back onto the gooseneck with just this, you know, put a new pin in there. That's going to be a damn sight easier. Yeah, so that old pin can go. I've got two Tufnell bushes. I'll just get a new one of them. That'll be easy enough. It's only a nut and bolt. Fine. And this is our gooseneck, and we can now mount that back onto there really much easier. So it's this shape because it actually goes round the outside of the of that reefing system. Look at that.
It's very satisfying.
That is very nice actually. It's very neat, isn't it? So again, we'll use some anti-galling paste. If I put the anti-seize on,
yeah, I'll tighten them up
and put them in. Yeah, don't make them all too tight. Yeah, because we need some degree of fiddling, fettling, and adjustment. Flipping heck. Ready? Up to you, and then we'll roll.
Okay.
Actually, that's fine. That's fine.
Happy there?
Yeah. Happy days. Yeah. One. Two. Well, nobody can say that we haven't fully refurbed the furling system. This is like literally been taken apart back to its bare components and completely reassembled, and I'm going to take it apart again before I finish the job. Right then, so where are we up to? We've got our in-mast furling system all completely assembled. We've got our the top cap needs securing in with a few screws, and the bottom cap needs securing in with a few screws. That's fine because it's coming apart to get painted. We've got our topping lift, which is red and white. We've got our mainsail halyard, which is the original steel cable, and it would be dead simple to change that for a piece of rope if we wanted to. We've got our beautiful grey halyard for the Genoa, and The staysail halyard goes up the outside of the mast anyway, so that's not a problem. Our clutches are working. Our in-mast furling reefing system is working. Our gooseneck is back on. I was going to connect up the steering box with the one in the pilot house, but I've run out of time, and it probably doesn't show on camera, but we're running out of daylight. So we're stopping here for today. That'll be in another episode. Tim's been amazing as always. I'm sure you're glad to see him back on the channel, and he'll be appearing a lot more in the coming episodes. And that's that really. Thank you very, very much for watching Sailing Melody again, as you always seem to do, you crazy, crazy people, you. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. You know the drill. And leave us a like, leave us a comment, leave us a thumbs down if you hate the video. That's cool. We like that too. And yeah, love to you all. Speak to you again soon. Thanks again to our patrons, of course, who make these videos possible. And thanks again to anybody that's donated through Coffee or through PayPal. That money that you give, it means more to us than you can possibly imagine. It basically helps make these videos possible, because we could tick along restoring the boat and pursuing our dream, but you know, having you guys supporting the making of the videos is just amazing. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and see you next time on Sailing Melody. Bye guys.